Okay, I have just been zapped on my Vortex because last Saturday I received 4 diagnoses attached to my toe. And I don't know how I got out of the Vortex to allow this. I know my stream is running very quickly, and somehow I'm not keeping up with it, but I don't know what I'm not keeping up with.
Well, it's not as traumatic as it sometimes seems. First of all, while we introduce to you our desire for you to be in the vortex, do you feel us wanting to soothe the idea that you might sometimes not be in it? And amplify the idea that it's easy to get in, sure it spits you out. It's easy to get in, sure it spits you out. But the vortex never spits you out that you don't feel negative emotion. In other words, there's always a feeling of wrongdoing or orneriness or something going on. So sometimes things that in other words, the reason that you have not been, and it's so fun to have this vortex analogy, the reason that sometimes you have been in a place of vibrational resistance, and you have to be, otherwise you don't get those diagnoses.
Correct.
So the reason that you could be outside the vortex and not know it is because you got used to being outside the vortex. In other words, it's normal for most people to feel a little overwhelmed or ornery or injustice or one thing and another. It's normal to feel it. You said something so important. You said, I know my stream's going fast.
Yes.
So, and it's the comparative thing, isn't it, that makes the resistance stronger. If you hadn't lived enough life that made your stream go faster, if the vortex were not calling you in a strong way, then you not going wouldn't be a problem. So, all you have to ask yourself, and for you, these are the words we would put to you to sort of trigger your awareness of what it might be. What am I usually ornery about? What am I usually ornery about? What is it?
Money.
So, it's not hard. Anything else?
I really am pretty happy. My business is growing exponentially, and of course I listen to you every day. I have no real
Be that. Although, when you listen to someone crowing all day about how good life should be, it can help you to feel that separation just a little bit. So it seems like it revolves around money, but it feels like it's more than that, as we feel you just a bit. And it feels like you're associating it with, in other words, by the time that the diagnosis comes, there's usually enough of that. A feeling of resentment is a stronger word. Anything that you are feeling resentment about. Not having money, but other than that.
I would say there's guilt because I can't pay a loan back to a friend. I can't think of any resentment.
Well, the thing to remember is that it doesn't have to be a big thing.
Oh.
It's a steady thing. It's a chronic thing.
Okay.
It's a something present there a lot thing. So anybody that you are interacting with that you are finding yourself particularly annoyed with on a pretty regular basis?
Probably about one friend, yes.
It is more about that.
Okay.
Because it's something that occupies quite a bit of your thinking. And as you are focusing, in other words, sometimes anybody owe you money?
No, darn.
It's something like that, though. It's something that you're pushing against in a pretty steady way. So anything coming to mind that you want to focus your way into a better place about? Because you see, the reason that we're probing and poking here a little bit is because the most important thing is that you acknowledge that there is vibrational disparity. Otherwise, this imbalance wouldn't be occurring. Because everything that you are living is a vibrational indicator. So if you're in a moment ornery, that's a vibrational indicator of contradiction in your energy. If there's a physical condition, then that's an indicator. Everything that you are living, everything that's manifesting in your life is an indicator of the vibrational state.
Correct.
And so we like to put it to you that way because the indicators change as quickly as the vibrational state changes. When doctors and scientists are not so determined to find cures, and instead they will look for vibrational causes, then they will really be onto something. Because as soon as you figure that out and are able to focus wheel yourself into alignment about it, now your vibrational stance will change. And when your vibrational stance changes, the indicators have to change too. It's a great, big, consistent, ever-present, always law.
Yes.
So you hear us talking about focus wheels, and you hear us talking about cleaning up your vibration, and yet a lot of people, it doesn't mean anything to them. And it's only recently that Esther has been feeling the really strong urge to do a focus. She carries a little notebook with her, and anything that comes up that gives her the slightest feeling of pause or discord, she writes it down, and the next morning when they wake up, they spend the half an hour or so focus wheeling around these little nuggets of resistance that she is uncovering more and more every day.
Yes, I've done one on the money that I owe this friend, and it worked out beautifully. Don't have to do it right this second. I can do this, I can do that, all right,
But so what we're wanting you to realize is that there is some pattern of thought, and it's something about the way you're viewing things. The source within you has an opinion about everything, and the opinion is, no matter who it is, I love you. No matter what you're doing, it's working out just fine. No matter where you stand, it's getting better. And when you think thoughts that consistently contradict that, then you set up that tug of war. So if something comes to mind, we can focus wheel with you. There is something specific, or it wouldn't be this acute.
Correct, and I don't know what that is. That's what I need help with.
All right, so as you're moving through your day from this point forward, what you're wanting to do is feel for feelings of discord. But before you can do that, you have to recognize what the absence of discord feels like. So do you describe to us what a normal day is like for you? What we're going to do is feel, as you are speaking here, your joy level. We'll be able to monitor, as you tell your story of a normal day, your proximity to your vortex. So you wake up, then what?
I wake up, get my coffee, listen to Abraham, and then I start my day out at work. I have a home business. I sell crystals, and I normally have, it's like any other business. It's just working through the process. I'm very focused, and I love it. There's not something, it's sales, so that always enters into it. But I decided I'll do my job, Source does his, and then we'll go forward. So then
Are you happy in your space?
Yes.
Are you crowded in your space?
It's a small space. It's only about...
Is it organized?
Is it very organized?
So does anyone else work in your space with you?
No.
So it's only you, it's your space, and your crystals.
And my dog.
And your daughter.
Dog.
Your dog. Well, that's an entirely different subject. So, because your dog's always in the vortex.
Yes, he is. Thank God.
Well, this is troubling in this sense, and we are not feeling any trouble, but it's the right word to use. When you have an indication of vibration out of whack, and you cannot find anything in your life that points toward it. You said money, but that as you're talking about that, then what you have to do is just move through your days as you are moving forward and watch for the nuggets of discord.
And what do I do with them?
Well, once you find one, once you are aware of it, then you talk about it until you feel relief around it.
Okay.
But there's something else going on here, and it's really a good thing to talk about, and that is, you see, someone who is commonly in the vortex feels it acutely when they step outside.
Yes.
Someone who hangs around outside the vortex and is adjusted to that talks sort of like you are.
Okay.
In other words, if you are not aware of highs and lows, of happies and sads, of clarity and confusion, if you're not aware of the shifting in your emotion, then you have acclimated to something that's outside the vortex. Now, you could acclimate to something inside the vortex, but you wouldn't be getting these indications about your physical body under those conditions.
So I'm not in the vortex.
Well, no. And And it's all right because a lot of people aren't, and it's all right because step one is part of the process, and it's all right because sometimes you go in other words, you do have what are the things that thrill you the most in your life experience? What makes you want to call someone and tell them about it?
Dancing with the Stars. Having a massage. I mean, things. I just had a glamour shot. I thought that was really kind of fun. I don't have. That's about it. I mean,
when you take your walks, where do you go?
Around the block.
And what do you see? And does it give you a lift? Do you feel better after the walk?
Oh, absolutely.
And do you walk alone with your
dog?
And do you have conversations?
No, I usually don't.
So can you sort of feel what we're getting at here? In other words, and don't feel bad about it because a lot of people have just adjusted. It's what humans call coping. It's like facing reality and accepting what is, and there are good aspects to that because in the accepting of what is, you don't make your resistance spike in any way. But it's clear that you have things in your vortex that are calling you that you're not allowing yourself to move toward on a steady basis, but you're not really aware that you're not moving toward it. And so this is a wonderful example. We've been saying this for a while. We say, if you've got some resistance going on and you don't know it, so you don't do anything about it, don't worry, it will get bigger.
It did.
And if you still don't notice, don't worry, it will get bigger. And so all you want to say about this is, well, isn't this nice? My resistance got big enough that my indicator showed up. So now what's a new intention that is born out of this? I would like my indicator to be more active before I have a manifestation that is unpleasing. So what's that? What does that mean? So in my focus wheel, what I'm wanting to say is, I want to be sensitive to my emotions. I want my emotions to be I want to be aware that my emotions are the indicator of my vibrational mix. I want to awaken my emotions in a powerful way. I want to awaken my awareness of my vibrational mix in a powerful way.
Okay.
And the most powerful way that we know is through meditation. Have you ever meditated?
Yes.
Do you meditate?
Sometimes.
The value of meditation is that when you quiet your mind, you release resistance. Because when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you release resistance, it raises your vibration. Now, we want to talk about these crystals that are all around you. Where are they? All around your space?
Yes, they're all very close to me, all over the space. I probably have in my home and in the garage is another 1,000. Or probably in my home is another 1,000.
So, and what is your feeling about these crystals? When you look at them, why do you sell them? What do they represent to you? They're beautiful, but why be in the crystal business?
Well, it kind of landed on me, I guess. It's something that is a niche on eBay that really has produced, I'm retired, has produced more of an income for me since my retirement, and I love a home-based business.
So it could be mud pies, and as long as people are buying them, it would be all right.
Well, I like crystals. I think some of them have a lot of energy. I don't feel a lot of it, but I know they have it.
Well, the reason that we're asking about the crystals is because crystals are conductors of energy. So in the early days, when Esther first met us, someone was selling crystals, and they brought a beautiful display of them to Esther, and they were encouraging her to buy them. And Esther said, well, what are they about? And the woman said, well, they are energy vortexes. They accentuate energy. They help you to focus energy. And Esther said, Abraham, which one should I buy? And we said, well, if all of that is true, then get the biggest one.
Yes.
And then we explained to Esther that she is the vortex. But when you have these little amplifiers around you, and these definitely are amplifiers, a vortex that is, in other words, the vortex between you and your source, we're talking all day, every day about controlling your vibration that allows your access to this vortex of energy. And when you get crossways of this vortex of energy, the amplification of it gives you the signal of negative emotions. So when you are surrounded by these amplifiers of energy, what's happened is you've acclimated, but it's sort of shorted out isn't the right word, but it has made you sort of oblivious to your emotions.